Well, I believe there are those commentators who think miscarriages of justice are housed in the 1980s. Well, that's about the biggest misconception and misunderstanding of the way actually life works, never mind the criminal justice system. However, it won't surprise you to learn that the risks of a miscarriage are as great as they've ever been, because the interest of the system has shifted from confession-style cases, which peppered that period, across to forensic science. Now, there are miscarriages of justice in that period, also based on forensic science, that went wrong. That's the area that needs the most focus now, as well as general representation. And the factors that bear upon that, obviously, is the way in which the coalition have attacked legal aid on the civil front and on the criminal front, the way the coalition has attacked the jury system, and the way that the coalition are permitting almost the demise of the forensic science service. Successive governments, in fact, it's not just the coalition, over the last 30, 40 years have recognised, although they won't spell it out, that juries are a potential threat because they tend to acquit people that governments think ought to be convicted. And it's only this year, that this coalition, right at the start of the year, started once again to say they wanted to hive off hybrid offences. That's offences that could be tried by a jury or in the lower court. Hive them off to be tried only in a lower court without a jury. We had this debate, 10, 15 years ago. But here it is again. Whether they'll actually have the audacity to do it when it's been defeated every time, I don't know. I think at the moment there are many, many other lawyers who think as I do, who have the same mindset as I do, who would like to be doing what I have tried to do over the last 30, 40 years. But there's a huge problem, both with solicitors in the criminal arena and with barristers in the criminal arena, and that is total demoralisation. And the demoralisation comes from the fact that this government and the previous one, so it's not restricted to the coalition, Labour government as well, want to effectively emasculate legal aid. And so that it effectively, they're leaving it to market forces. And what they really want are sort of contracts held by people who are going to do sort of economies of scale. So they do lots and lots of cases. So effectively the pressure is going to be on. And I had an example given to me by a solicitor the other day who said, I'm having people walk, and he's been in the job in the Midlands for something like 30, 40 years. And he said, I'm having clients now coming through the door, they can't afford their contribution to legal aid, which may be £8,000, can't afford it. So basically they're pleading guilty. If you combine the cuts in legal aid with cuts in welfare generally, and the economy generally, we have a very unhappy parlous situation in which, access to justice is going to amount to very little indeed.